The new look of Squish Squash Natural Lemon Juice.
It is a very good day to you, and thank you very much for joining us right here on ZTN News Blitz. Let's take a quick look at our top stories. Cost of living in Zimbabwe rises. Civil servants reject latest government salary offer. Artists plead for return to normalcy. And in sport, Eagles crush Tuskers. And now for the news in greater detail. A low-income urban family of 6 in Zimbabwe now needs to dig deep into their pockets to survive through a month. Such a family now needs 36,000 Zimbabwean dollars, which is a 36% rise from 26,000 in January. CCZ spokesperson Rose Chikarakara spoke to ZTN correspondent Munashem Kahlera.
The cost of living, as measured by the Consumer Council of Zimbabwe's low-income urban earner monthly basket for a family of 6, increased from the end of January figure of $25,998.97 to $35,543.30 by end of February 2021, showing an increase of 36.71%. This steep increase was caused by increases that were made on non-food items, namely rent, health, education, clothing and footwear, but also even on food still.
Confederation of Zimbabwe Industries chief economist Tafazo Bandama attributes the price increases to black market pricing and international commodity demands.
Prices are increasing on the back of widening black market premium on the exchange rate front, and then prices may also increase due to rising commodity prices on international markets, and this causes imported inflation, and the pegging of various utilities to the US dollar make prices move in tandem with exchange rate movements, and this causes inflation. And on another note, prices are also rising on the back of fuel and electricity price adjustments. So yeah, that's basically it.
Now, our correspondent Perpetual Rojasi spoke to some consumers who shared some of their frustrations.
Sometime last year, a family of 3 were consulting a $1 which took one, but now we're to $2. Strange kumberi kuti mukwani zvamaimbokwana $2 saka mari dzacho ari kurwadza.
Transport yacho iri kudhura kana kuti uti zvanzi tiri kuendawo kubasa so unotoshaya kuti tiri kushandirei zvinhu zvese hapana chiri nani kana kuti ndiyo covid yacho iyoyi yatiitisawo kudaro. So
chemode chedu ndechekuti mari dzedu tichitambira toiswa mumakadhi, saka patinozoti chende unotenga tosvika mareti atinozorohwa mashopu apa zvinhu zvinenge zvakwira futi torohwa mamwe mareti okuti mari yacho haizotombokwani.
Rinetsa ndekuti tikuchema nekukwira ukaita zvinhu kuwe kuchishungurudza.
Government and its workers have once again failed to agree on a figure for civil servants' salaries. The National Joint Negotiating Council meeting held earlier today ended in a stalemate, as was the case on March the 12th when the two parties last met. Now, today's government offered a 25% hike, but the workers rejected it. With the latest offer, the lowest paid civil servant was set to receive 16,752 Zimbabwean dollars. And we spoke to Public Services Association Secretary David Zatsonga.
So we disagreed with the offer because brought an offer which was not really different from what they brought last time. So something to do with 25% for April, and then then 70% for maybe for the month of May going forward. Well, we haven't sat down to say what we do now, but we have simply taken the position that we cannot take it.
Now, the SADC region is looking at ways to assist Mozambique following the intensification of attacks by suspected Islamic terrorists. And this came out of a meeting between Botswana President Mokgweetsi Masisi and President Emmerson Mnangagwa in Harare on Wednesday. Now, President Mnangagwa is the outgoing chairperson of the SADC organ on politics, defense and security, while President Masisi is the current chairperson, with South Africa's President Cyril Ramaphosa being the incoming chairperson to form the SADC Troika. And last week, the Islamist terrorists killed dozens of people, including foreigners, in the town of Palma.
President Masisi is the current chairperson of the Troika. So he was briefing me about the security situation in the region, with particular emphasis on what is happening in Cabo Delgado.
President Masisi said his regional diplomatic offensive has yielded results.
We have formed views as a troika. One of them will result in taking this further so that we as SADC respond in a helpful manner to ensure that we assure the integrity and sovereignty of one of our own, never to be assaulted by dissident, rebellious and non-state actor forces that undermine the democratic credentials and peace in the region.
Meanwhile, more than 8,100 people have reached safety outside the northern Mozambican town of Palma a week after it was besieged by jihadists. And the UN, however, said thousands of others remain stranded. Zimbabwe's Home Affairs Minister Kazembe says food insecurity and abuse of social media are some of the threats to the country's national security. Minister Kazembe was making a presentation on Zimbabwe's internal security challenges at the National Defense University earlier today. Minister Kazembe said improved yields this season are expected to mitigate threats posed to the country's security due to lack of food.
Just like traditional media can threaten internal security, although social media can act as a tool of widening the democratic space, it can also be a catalyst for destabilization. In essence, social media has been abused by some elements in our society to spread the hate speech and incite violence. As we all know, even in our families, in our family homes, if there's hunger in that house, if there's hunger in that family, love will not find expression in there. There will be chaos in that house. There will be in-house fighting. The same applies to countries. One of the most pressing responsibilities of any government the world over is to ensure that all people have physical and economic access to sufficient, safe and nutritious food to meet their dietary needs. Failure to do so severely compromises the internal security of any country because citizens are bound to do whatever they can to get food.
Now, the Zimbabwe National Water Authority has resumed pumping water to Beitbridge town following the restoration of power supply to their water treatment plant. Zinwa temporarily introduced water rationing on Tuesday when an electricity transformer at the plant broke down. Zinwa spokesperson Marjorie Mnyonga says residents will start receiving water by end of day.
We have resumed pumping to Beitbridge municipality following the fixing of the transformer by ZTN, and the town is expected to receive its normal water supplies by end of day today.
Now, artists from various genres today joined the rest of the nation in getting vaccinated against COVID-19, and they were led by National Arts Council of Zimbabwe Director Nicholas Moyo. Moyo told ZTN that they have approached government seeking a package to revive the sector.
Currently, as National Arts Council, we made a proposal for a stimulus package because we believe we need to re-kickstart, give energize the sector, kickstart the sector, give stimulus to the sector to ensure that spaces that were closed are spruced up, brought into the level where our consumers can come and consume at a safe space. We are no longer talking about relief for individuals. We are talking about reigniting the sector, the industry, to again start operating.
Meanwhile, prominent music promoter Patson Chimboza, who also got inoculated, appealed for a return to normalcy.
Is of us to the government, even in limited numbers. For us, what's important is to open. Numbers, yes, they do matter, but for us, what's important is for us to be allowed to hold shows.
Tanzania's President Samia Suluhu Hassan has reshuffled her cabinet more than a week after she was sworn in following the death of President John Magufuli. The changes include the appointment of new Chief Secretary Hussein Yaha Katanga, who is Tanzania's ambassador to Japan. President Samia announced the cabinet changes during the swearing-in ceremony of the new vice president. Now, a shooting at Southern California office building in the United States has killed 4 people, including a child, and injured a 5th person before police shot at the suspect. A Facebook live stream posted by a resident who lives near the office building showed officers carrying a motionless person out and providing aid to someone else. The killings are the latest mass shooting in the United States in the last 2 weeks. Now, Eagles thumped Tuskers by an innings and 77 runs at Old Hararians. Powered by Regis Chakava's century, the Harare team made light work of their struggling opponents inside 3 days. Eagles began the day needing 2 wickets for victory, and it did not take long before they wrapped the match, and left-arm seamer Richard Ngarawa was the pick of the bowlers with 4 wickets. In the other match at Harare Sports Club at Lunch, Rocks were leading Mountaineers by 223 runs with 6 wickets in hand. Now, after going through 3 hip surgeries, Zimbabwe tennis star Courtney Locke has begun his recovery and is building up towards his return to the court again.
Yeah, I think, obviously you don't expect this, you don't hope for this, but I think it's part of the athlete world. I think every athlete goes through strife, some people more than others, but I did this as a thing for my career. So I wouldn't have done it if it wasn't to prolong my career. So I think, I'm at an age right now where I have a little bit of time to spare. So yeah, it's been difficult, but I think I'm in a good place at the moment.
On to some football. Bayern Munich are targeting a move for Tottenham Hotspur forward Heung-min Son amid negotiations stalling over a new Spurs contract. A new report reveals Paul Pogba would leave Manchester United for Juventus as early as the summer. Chelsea could make their 3rd goalkeeping sign in as many years, with the Blues boosted by the latest updates surrounding target Gianluigi Donnarumma. Burnley are targeting a summer move for Middlesbrough defender Dael Fai for around $14 million United States dollars. Now, remember to connect with us on our social media platforms. Our Twitter is @ZTN_news. Our Facebook, Zim Papers TV Network. Our Instagram @ZTN. And remember to like and subscribe our YouTube channel, ZTN. You can also visit our website, ztn.co.zw, for more updates. Thank you very much for watching.
Being a landowner of sort gives you some form of comfort and with the starting point at least. I'm Andrew Sirel, married to 1 wife, got 3 kids. Never saw myself owning a house. This came as a beautiful surprise.
Well, my parents didn't raise me to live with them forever. So just learning from watching them and other people around me, I'd always hoped that one day I would own my own home.
Partnership that we entered into is to enable positive futures for the population of Zimbabwe, to ensure that we contribute to the housing stock of the country and also reduce the national housing list. People who had never dreamt of owning a house, people who are in the informal sector, we enabled them to put a roof over their heads.
So it feels great to be a homeowner, particularly living in Zimbabwe where things are really difficult. It's great to know that I don't have to worry about the roof over my head. I was excited about when I actually signed the papers and they said, this is your home. Now I'm already thinking, what's next? I would definitely do it again if another opportunity came that worked. So I'd definitely encourage other people to take something like this on.